What an eventful day yesterday. We're going to talk about it more today. 24 articles of impeachment filed yesterday, Congressman. This now sets in motion the process to exact accountability from one of the country's highest officials. Why did it make sense for Akbayan to receive this complaint and endorse it, Congressman?
Well, when we first heard of these efforts by very courageous and brave leaders from both civil society, even religious sectors, and some members of the academy, we felt that it's about time that we talk about this next step in the process. We saw how Vice President Sara Duterte evaded the various mechanisms and processes to hold her accountable. Dinededma niya, binabastos niya yung proseso sa House of Representatives and even the NBI. Hindi siya nag-a-attend. So, pag-iisip ng kampo ni Vice President Sara Duterte, dapat maalala nila, they brought this upon themselves. Wala nang ibang recourse ang taong bayan kundi mag-file ng impeachment. So, nung in-approach tayo ng ating mga private complainants, yung una nating tinanong ay, handa ba tayo sa kabila ng statement? During that time, mula sa Malacanang, na sinasabing nakikiusap na huwag nang mag-file ng impeachment. Pero malinaw kasi doon sa mga citizen complainants natin ang kanilang loyalties to the Filipino people na ngayon ay naghahanap ng justice and accountability for the Vice President, against the Vice President na ayaw humarap dito sa mga proseso na binabastos niya sa ngayon.
Congressman, this may not be what happened yesterday. It may not be the last. My sources are telling me that there may be another complaint that's about to be filed in the coming days, maybe in the next few hours. What will happen then between the complaint that you received yesterday and the complaint that may be filed in the next few hours?
We welcome yung mga gusto pa na mag-file ng impeachment complaint bago pa ito ma-refer sa plenary at eventually ma-refer sa Committee on Justice. So what happens is if there are multiple complaints, ang mangyayari ay sa Committee on Justice, sila yung magko-consolidate ng articles of impeachment. So in effect, it will sharpen and make the complaint more substantial. Kasi pwedeng piliin ng committee ano yung mga tingin nila malalakas, relevant, substantial articles of impeachment that could eventually constitute the articles na itatransmit sa Senado.
The complaint that you received yesterday, that alone has 24 articles of impeachment. Tell us how it's going to go down. Will Congress, the lower house, have to find all 24 articles sufficient in form and substance, or does it only take one?
Well, hindi naman kinakailangan yung lahat ng 24, no? Should the committee decide na, sige, we'll consider all 24 good, pero pwede naman sabihin ng committee, we see that there is merit in just a few of the articles that were mentioned, pero sa dulo, confident tayo na in this set of articles, very substantial yung ating mga allegations. And at the same time, the final form of the articles of impeachment will be crafted by the Committee on Justice.
Congressman, you kind of touched on this a while ago as well, that text messages confirmed by no less than the President himself, appealing in so many words to the House of Representatives for the process not to push through. But then what happened yesterday actually happened. So in the last 24 hours, has anyone reached out to you? Has the Speaker reached out to you?
We have yet to hear from the Speaker or the House leadership as to how they will proceed with this impeachment complaint. Ang mahalaga, nag-file yung citizens kahapon, tapos in-endorse natin at ni-receive ito ng House of Representatives. So that has kick-started the process of impeachment.
Since yesterday up to today, what have you been hearing? What's the overall sentiment of your colleagues there at the House of Representatives, Congressman?
When I went to the session hall after the filing, many of our colleagues approached me and thanked me for the courage daw na mag-file. Pero I told them na sa totoo lang, ang totoong courageous at brave ay yung mga citizen complainants. Yung ginawa ng Akbayan is to do its constitutional duty to endorse this valid, this important mechanism to hold the Vice President accountable for her abuse of power and her plunder of government resources.
And so we move on to the timing. We know that the elections are just around the corner. How is it going to go and play out? I know that there's a specific time period for the House to act on this, but then you also have the elections just around the corner. You may be successful in forwarding this to the Senate, but then if they do start it now, those who start it now won't be the ones who would finish it because of the change in composition after May 2025. So talk to us about the timing here and how it's all going to play out, Congressman.
This was a very interesting conversation between Akbayan and the citizen complainants. Yung tanong na may panahon pa ba? And then one of our complainants, sabi niya ganun, this any time to exact accountability and any time to exact justice, yun yung perfect timing. Sa totoo lang yung tanong na may panahon pa, we've seen how the House of Representatives and even the Senate, kapag nakita nilang may merit yung isang measure, ay they expedite processes or they facilitate the process. Pero tandaan natin, hindi naman matatapos ang term sa May elections. Meron pa tayong ilan pang linggo after the elections in June, before the end of the 19th process. So we hope that from now until June 30 of next year, we conclude the whole process of the impeachment.
All right, and it would still have to go through the complaint, at least, that was endorsed and received by you yesterday. It would still have to go through the process of finding it sufficient in form and substance. But how weird would it be, Congressman Sandanya, if all of a sudden it's not found to be sufficient in form and substance, despite the revelations in the Quadcom hearings, the revelations coming from the relentless questioning of the members' committees, Congressman?
If that happens, that would be a tragedy. A tragedy for all Filipinos who've suffered because of the ineptitudes and the abuse of power of the Vice President. At syempre, it's a great disservice also to the efforts of the House of Representatives in the last few months dito sa prosesong ito. So, I think that's very highly unlikely, pero should that happen, that would be a great tragedy.
Final question, Congressman Sandanya. Ano bang mas matimbang dapat ngayon? Ang panagutin ang nagkasala sa bayan o ang katayuan ng ating bansa?
Hindi kinakailangan kasing pumili dun sa dalawa niya. Pareho siyang mahalaga. Halimbawa, yung usapin ng pagpapanagot sa mga nagkasala sa bayan at saka yung kalagayan ng bansa. Pag binasa natin yung impeachment complaint, easily we're talking about 90 billion pesos na maaaring nanakaw ng mga Duterte. So yung 90 million pesos na yun, ninakaw yun mula sa servisyo na dapat natatanggap na ating mga kababayan. So this is not the choice between holding leaders accountable and working for the welfare of people because that goes hand in hand.
Akbayan Party List Representative Percy Sandanya there joining us live this noon. Thanks again for taking time out to accept our Zoom call. Appreciate it.
Maraming salamat, Carmina.